Hi guys, it's me Devin again, back with another video, and this time it's Mechagodzilla versus the Muto Prime. In this video we will see who will win. These opponents both were attacking Godzilla when he was in his weakest forms. Now we will see who wins. And these are some of Godzilla's toughest opponents. Let's see who wins. Okay, now let's start with the Muto's prime strength. So, she doesn't really have much weapons, but, she does have one. The other weapons are for abilities. Her strong arms. These arms are able to make 2014 Godzilla go flying, and he weighs 90,000 tons. Yeah, that's a lot. And the Muto Prime, just with her arms, made him go flying. And her punches did a lot of damage, and that's it. But still, that's very impressive. Making 90,000 tons go flying with just your arms, that's very impressive. Now time for Mechagodzilla's strength. So let's see. Mechagodzilla made Godzilla go flying. He would grab him, then slam him into buildings with ease. It was very easy. And his punches, those blue energy that's on his hands when he punched, that would seriously injure Godzilla. And for his striking strength, he actually used his beam, injured Godzilla and it beat Godzilla's weakened beam. Even though it was weakened, Godzilla's beam is actually still really powerful. And Mechagodzilla's beam beat it and seriously injured Godzilla. And he threw around Kong with extreme ease. Even though Kong was on his arm, he just had to move his arms, and Kong went flying. And now time for the Muto Prime. Okay, time for the Muto Prime speed. This category, the Muto Prime lacks in greatly because she can only keep up with the garish Godzilla 2014, which was very slow. She was only able to keep up with him. Okay, let's move on to Mechagodzilla. Now time for Mechagodzilla's speed and agility. So, Mechagodzilla steals this category because he was able to turn really quickly in the Godzilla fight, and he was actually moving really fast. With his jet propulsors, he was able to move really fast. And I forgot to mention something about the Muto Prime. The Muto Prime can swim, and Mechagodzilla can swim, but this battle is gonna be on land, so let's just not talk about that. So, Mechagodzilla is way faster and way more agile. Okay, now let's move on. Now time for the Muto Prime's durability. So it's not it's not confirmed that the Muto Prime has an EMP to weaken Godzilla's atomic breath and pulse. She took both of them. We're just gonna say she doesn't have one because she's just so powerful. Well, she took a point blank beam and a point blank nuclear pulse right and she was on Godzilla's back. So that means the pulse hit her right on her stomach, and she survived it. Well, right after she got killed, but still, she survived that, and she took the pulse. Okay, time for Mechagodzilla. Okay, time for Mechagodzilla's durability. So Godzilla didn't even hit Mechagodzilla one time. He only took hits from the weaker Kong, because Kong's weaker than Godzilla, and he just got brought back to life barely. So he wasn't really taking hits, and Kong was doing like no damage with that axe. Bros thought he was doing something. Only thing that really did damage him was like the supercharged axe, and that thing only pierced Godzilla's skin a bit. Then Godzilla just shrugged it off. But meanwhile, Mechagodzilla was getting his limbs torn apart by it. So let's move on. Now time for the Muto Prime's intelligence and battle intelligence. Yeah, pretty much she doesn't have no feats. Only thing that she can do is that she knows she needs to reproduce. Okay, moving on. Now time for Mechagodzilla's intelligence and battle intelligence. So for intelligence, he didn't really show much, but for the battle intelligence, he fought like a human sometimes, like fighting like a human, like throwing Godzilla into buildings, knowing how to use all his weapons right after Vig just created him. And he had the dumbest Ghidorah head. No offense, but he had Kevin's head, the dumbest Ghidorah head. So he is a bit smart, I guess, for that. But both of them don't show much intelligence. But Mechagodzilla shows a lot of battle IQ. Now let's move on. Now time for Muto Prime's weight, size, and weapons and abilities. Okay, now Muto Prime is a large 135,000 tons. Well, and she is like, I think, at least 360 feet tall, I think. And then for her abilities and other stuff, well, she has her sonic roar, which is able to break Godzilla's dorsal plates, and she's able to create earthquakes, I think. Yeah, she's able to create earthquakes, and I think that's it. Okay, let's move on to Mechagodzilla. Now, time for Mechagodzilla's size, weight, abilities, and weapons. So, Mechagodzilla is the largest, is the heaviest kaiju in the MonsterVerse franchise. In the MonsterVerse franchise, being 600,000 tons, and he's 400 feet tall. And let's talk about his weapons and abilities. So he has like this this tail, like sharp thing that will cut things and open. He has his proton screens, his jets, his like missiles, and he has like the blue punch thing. So now time to move on.